Peter Obi playing the two against themselves, both the AC and also the PDP, as they have zoned. He's now beginning to speak to two of them at the same time. The strategy is beautiful one. He's talking to El-Ruffai. El-Ruffai is into El-Ruffai. He's talking to and his ADC people through Atiku there to the CPC faction. It's basically a CPC staging ground in the APC administration, and that's from what we're saying, it's not the whole of the CPC. So some of them who are leaving the APC are now ADC as a staging ground. Peter Obi is talking to the PDP, and of course, you could say Atiku has got a movement. He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy that some of the people who told him they are now in the PDP, and he could see them talking to Peter Obi. Well, PDP can be fixed. It's the best platform there is. It's a reaction, as I told you and your audience earlier. Atiku had by the party that they will zone to the south, ADC. So if him remains the major holdout on the ADC, it does make sense talking to him, talking to those who are still in the PDP, El-Ruffai who's on his own, battling it out SDP, and wherever they may be. I think that's a beautiful strategy. Already El-Ruffai has agreed that the presidency should come to the south. The most northerners in the APC have agreed the presidency should remain in the south. Also, the northerners in the PDP have agreed that the presidency should come to the south. So I think Atiku Abubakar is just a holdout. When Peter Obi now will have to negotiate power. The other time it was only election when that started. Now he has enough time to negotiate with the different power blocks who are now holding out in the PDP. They've agreed to zone to the south and they are forum shopping him. El-Ruffai is working with has agreed it comes to the south. Atiku Abubakar seems to be a holdout, which I think that is still talking to him. There is a revolution ongoing in the country. It's not ethnic, because the people who are following this Peter Obi movement and the revolution are young people. They cut across people from all walks of life in Nigeria, all diversities. Look at now, suddenly in the north, they have woken up because people want a better country, not the old, thing that was arranged by soldiers, which took over from what the British left. There is a new renaissance countrywide, and that's why I think if what Peter Obi is doing currently continues, it's a good strategy. He's talking to Atiku, who has gone to sit down with his ADC staging ground. He's also speaking to a lot of northerners who are in the PDP, who Atiku was angry that they promised him follow him, but they stay in the PDP. They're talking to Peter. He's also speaking to El-Ruffai, who's on the side on his own. So I believe this strategy of engaging all these PowerPoints at the same time makes sense. El-Ruffai has agreed power comes to the south. The PDP leaders from the north have agreed that power comes from the north and the PDP. So, yes, while Mr. Atiku Abubakar is a personal holdout, but I think if Peter continues to speak to him as he speaks to everybody, he's going to come around. Probably he might want to, exact some strong pound of flesh. But I think the strategy Peter is now employing is fantastic. At the same time, he will continue his nationwide movement as the people move towards coming together to take back their country. What we're having today in Nigeria is historical. You can see we have two presidents. We have a president of the heart, Peter Obi. We have a president, the man that controls the superstructure, which is Tinubu. But of course, the people who also run the super state do listen to what the people are saying. If the time has come for change, it will be inevitable. But I also like it that we now have a man in front, well trusted by a lot of people, and that's Peter. So he should continue doing his work. Nigerians are with him, I have no doubt, and we will have to find a way to renegotiate a new country.
There is no doubt. I think Peter has all the time. This time he has much better than the 8 months before the last election. He has a lot of time now to speak to all the PowerPoint, all the past stakeholders, and if they come to agree, and I think it will be an easy thing to. The important thing is to unite the opposition. That's what it is. If he's able to unite the opposition, that's the reason it's good. He's talking to all those members of opposition, however they are far flung. What I want you to say about Atiku is his contribution is necessary. But I think with time he will also understand. He has enjoyed inclusion in Nigeria. Don't forget, he was born in German Cameroon. And he became a Nigerian in 1961 after the plebiscite that brought in British Cameroon to merge with Northern British Nigeria. And he's enjoyed that inclusion. So the inclusion that got him to rise that high is what he must understand. He has to allow it to other people. Now that everybody in the North, leaders in the APC say it should be in the South for 8 years, the El-Ruffai and others like him, the PDP leaders from the North, also agreed to it comes to the South. It's only a matter of time before everybody is able to talk Atiku into being smart and going with the crowd. Then the opposition will now unite. That's the important thing. The uniting of the opposition. Once they speak with one voice, then we can make movements to bring new protocols for our country and situate a new country and a better country, a far more inclusive Nigeria, because the obedient movement was all about inclusion. Inclusion. That's what it is. And based on that chant for inclusion, the PDP has zoned its presidency to the South, because it's a wrong thing for people in the North to insist from the time of Abiola and the announcement of the election that the Southerners should not have a say in the governance of our country. That is wrong. So I think that historical issue is being dealt with, and I'm happy that Mr. Peter Obi is going about it in this very way and fashion. And that's why you see the ADC was created. The ADC is basically the CPC faction of the APC administration. So now they have gone and they have found an ally in Atiku, who is like a child driven away from the PDP, because the PDP governor said, look, we're going to zone to the South. So he said, fine. So he left the party to try to set up this small ADC thing, working with the CPC people who are not happy with the Tinubu. So, and that's where it will be. Once you have a strong presidency like Tinubu has, stronger than the institutions of state, and that's it. So you're likely to have those who you consider losers, internally displaced politicians. They will not gather there. So that's what the ADC has become. So I call it a temporary ruler. But then later on, they could merge with the people in the PDP, with the people with the El-Ruffai is leading. So there are several, segments of the opposition today. And of course, you have the people led by Peter Obi, and then you have those with Kwankwaso, you have those with El-Ruffai, you have those now who has left APC to go form ADC together with Atiku, whose one is just show me where I can get a ticket and I'll come to your house. So it's not based on anything that's serious. So as I've told you now, you have 5 very important centers of opposition politics in Nigeria today. And there's a need to bring them together.
All right.
To unite as an opposition, then that's it. And I think they have a lot of time going from now to the election.
All right,
to come
sir.
Together.
All right, sir. So let's speak straight to this opposition, especially as it gets to do with your candidate's interest.
The people in the Labour Party shouting at Peter Obi is a fringe faction without Abambi. The Labour Party is nothing without the obedient movement. You should know that. So there are several shelf parties. It's only Peter Obi's presence that makes the Labour Party. These are visible, politically exposed individuals who have ability to rob deals or make promises to President Tinubu They are not the people. They are not the people. The minute the youths start what they started in 2022, going to 23, what is the point you are talking about will become irrelevant. They'll be drowned in the cacophony of the bandwagon effect that the people will normally generate. And they are much smarter now. You can't divide them with ethnicity and bigotry. It doesn't make sense.
There's still a lot of division, no? There's still a lot of division, especially if you go across social media. There is a lot of division. They insult each other.
You are reading active commentators. There are no divisions with the people.
Okay.
The Nigerian people, Goodluck Jonathan got far more than what Tinubu is getting now. What instruments and pushes the mood is the shape of the economy, economic advantages to Nigerians, the shape of security in the polity. These are the things. We're talking about the opinions of big men who all have police escorts. We're thinking about the reactions on the streets of the poor, who will start organically organizing on their own. They organize these people. We've seen it before. Like we saw it in 2023 election. They built 8 months to go. Nobody gave them a chance. The street organized themselves. So forget about that. It is heavy. So far, there is no division of factions among the poor people of Nigeria. They are still one group. So leave all these people. If you want to beat the rich and the poor, you should understand what it is.
All right.
The only thing that will change the fundamentals on the streets is if the government makes the space more livable for Nigerians. That's all. If you don't make it livable, the crusade-like preachings of candidates like Peter Obi will, of course, stir emotions and force Nigerians to do things on their own. Don't forget, nothing lasts forever. Let's not try to predict the future. Yes, we can appreciate the acrobatics in the present by interested individuals and parties. There's nothing wrong with that. But how society will behave when they are hungry, we know what that brings. Let them continue now to talk to themselves. As I said earlier, they have a lot of space to negotiate power. Tinubu is also doing things, beginning to make concessions, reaching out to people. That's the one good thing about opposition, making appointments to try to force a view of inclusion. He even Southeast Development Fund with about 150 billion startup, even giving them, a standard gauge rail line system, and going to the north to even make appointments, speaking to people. You saw Kwankwaso ratcheting up e-commerce society. Forget the noise from psychofancy. It doesn't make sense. The government gets security reports. They know what happens. They know how the people are feeling. They know that things are rough, things are hard. And I think they'll be doing everything possible going forward to try to ameliorate the sufferings of the poor people on the streets. So El-Ruffai is not there, Peter Obi is not there. Yesterday they had, a net meeting. No single representative came from the Peter Obi caucus, not one single person.
Yes.
None.
Yes.
So that tells you. And then in panic they started running to say, okay, they will give him the position of national organizing secretary. That now tells you. Organized without any input from Peter. Only now were they not saying they will give him allot him one. Everything you see there, we are all Atiku's people. So how can you go to a house you did not build? You don't know where the structures are. You don't know where the pillars are. How are you going to survive? It's just like a trick. So it's good that he's been smart in telling them, I will not join you until you zone. And the PDP that has zoned is talking to the PDP. And because he's talking to the PDP, you now see panic in the ADC camp. So he's going to let them be playing them against each other. Perfect game. It will not. A lot of northerners have come to him. El-Ruffai says, yes, he agrees. The presidency will be zoned to the south, and he was willing to work with Peter Obi. But Babangida Aliyu and some other northerners, they've agreed with the PDP zoning to the south, and that was why Atiku got, upset. He said no, they deceived him, that they would follow him, but as he crossed over, they stayed in declared power, zoning to the south and started talking to Peter Obi. He even tried to deny the letter he wrote. They said, no, it is authentic. It is his signature. He said, no, someone else signed it. Trying as if they played him, he's coming back to PDP. But I think he should stay out.
Wait, sir. Sorry for cutting you. It's very important that we get these things very clear. Are you that Atiku even at some point tried to deny his resignation letter from the PDP and
exactly last weekend, exactly. And they shouldn't know that the letter is duly signed. It is his signature. But that was when he found out that a lot of his friends who said they would follow him to ADC stayed back and instead were seen now negotiating with Peter Obi, about how it would be in PDP, and that offended. He felt that they played him, telling him, look at them, move, follow him. He now got into ADC, only for them to wait, make the announcement at the NAF conference center, and then come to start negotiating with Peter about him returning to the PDP. So I think now felt they have treated him. They tried to say that even he has not resigned. He says it's not true, you resigned. The signatures are yours. Dolly said he didn't sign it. They say you signed it. You resigned. Allow us to repair the party. So I think that Peter Obi is doing well. Talking to Atiku. He's talking to those elders in the PDP, whom Atiku thinks deceived him. Talking also to El-Ruffai. And it's a beautiful thing to be talking to all sections.
So is it possible that this is the reason why even the El-Ruffai is yet to actually join ADC? He's not joined ADC. And Atiku himself is still yet to register.
El-Ruffai understands that there are some insincere people. You're talking about hiring a vehicle for elections. Instead of allowing all of us to make contributions, then only 3 of you will go and pay and then hold it as your own. And nobody will trust it. Nobody will trust it. Yeah, nobody will trust it.
Then even Atiku himself never even joined the ADC yet. He's not yet a member of ADC. So what's going on?
No, because Peter's who. Now you remember, once they now saw that, they said they will not join. Since the people didn't allow them to be part owners to contribute to it, it was only yesterday that they are not thinking about accommodating Peter in their executive organogram. Don't you understand something is wrong?
So all this why they don't even factor in Peter Obi for inside the executive organogram?
No, never. It was just set up a platform to give him. So he to be very smart. Say no. I'm not joining.
Okay.
I will stay where I am. Okay. So he's also not joining. He will stay where he is. Because you need to understand what these people are doing. Whether you hold the negotiations in the PDP or you hold it in the alliance, the most fundamental reason why the opposition crashed and tore into pieces is because some elements from the north, led by Atiku, refused to allow the presidential pendulum that has been in the north for 8 years to now swing back to the south. So I think Peter Obi is correct to insist he will not be there until then soon. But for the sake of maintaining that channel, opening it, they continue to operate, deal with them, and talk to them. I think it's a very good strategy. So that if at the end they will say, okay, we now want to talk. What do you give? Then you can negotiate power.
Okay. Then secondly, that PDP way be say they don't call and make him come now. Waiting be the possibility say with not just Wiki but Wiki and him allies them for inside PDP. Peter Obi go fit make any headway. Understand they say all of them don't swear say they go vote for Tinubu.
There's nothing wrong with that. The most important decider in our party system are the governors. Not former governors, the incumbent governors. That's why you saw in the deal in Rivers State, Wiki insisted he would be treated as a governor. He wants to own the local government chairman. He wants to do this, do that. And that's what they now achieved with the state of emergency. But you see, things change. A week is a long time in politics. Once Fubara gets into power, has access to funds, he can think for himself. He can make plans for himself. But he has to be peaceful until he gets the power, until they get him back there.
So speaking about Peter Obi, do you think that the PDP will not be just another landmine for Peter Obi if with a Wike in it?
No, it's not true. The PDP is a well understood swamp. It's a swamp where a lot of the waterside dwellers know where all
they understand the terrain.
Exactly, they understand the terrain. Give them 6 months, they will surgically, once the governors take control, 6 months they surgically fix the party. They will surgically fix it. Once Wike is not incumbently in power, you can't attend governors' meetings. The governors want to fix country.
But his friend Seyi Makinde is very active as a governor. You think that they would want to do anything will go affect their own friend Wike? This is not confusion because what are they asking are based on what people concerned be for Peter Obi for
I want to tell you, this is a public property. It is not a property owned by Wike. Okay. The minute they go to convention, the Wike's strength is that Wike has corrupting influence over some members of the NWC.
Yes.
Once they do the national convention and those officers are out, the highest the party will pay is considering the structures of the party in the state of those officers, in this case, the national secretary, the acting national chairman. You consider Imo to Anyanwu and consider Yobe to Damagun. We take the party. And wherever you think Wike has stubborn strengths, you will talk to the people there. They refuse to see the party. The governors know what to do. They move forward. So nothing lasts forever. Wike's powers will not last forever. But let us see what happens. Let's see the people who come through this convention, and then they are the ones who used to work. So as Peter Obi is talking with everybody is just on the edge watching. And that's what you said now is why Atiku is also not happy. A lot of the people who told him they are coming with him, suddenly after PDP zoned to the south, and then they saw some of those people, instead of being with Atiku, they are now speaking to Peter Obi on behalf of the PDP. So you can understand that people are now watching. What platform? Because the idea is to unify the opposition, straight. So on what platform will they be unified? And that will determine on who closes deal quickly with Mr. Obi. So politicians are smart. They have their legs in 3 different places. Yes. And the minute a platform is decided, and the minute there's unity of position by the opposition, you can see now you're having people like Alimu to speak.
Yes, Jerry Ghana. Yes.
Jerry Ghana that did not have decided to zone to the south until 2031.
Yes.
Once that particular crusade gets properly drawn everywhere, and then the dissenting voices in the north become like Atiku and alone, you will understand what that will bring about. In 2023, Atiku had people in the north who, when he said no, they will say yes, we're with you. But there are a lot of them now who are saying, look, we'll go with the party. It's been zoned to the south. Even in APC, it's also zoned to the south because we don't want to fight or offend President Tinubu. So once you see a general movement towards such direction, then you will now see people go talk to Atiku, say, look, Rankadede, we have to give up on this thing. Everybody has agreed. Let us join it. You being an elder statesman, you shouldn't be outside when this thing is happening so that you'll be able to negotiate your followers, your diehard people into some position of relevance in this new reality that we now have, where the power now goes to the south. Then that's when Atiku will now demand for his pound of flesh for his followers. But then if he now sees everybody in the north and now with the agreement of let it be in the south, he will have no choice than to follow them. I think that will have get to. I believe we don't have to rush it. He's an old man. He has his ego. But now that we have a better chorus line of Northerners saying it should be in the south, it should be in the south, you should understand it only takes a matter of time before Atiku will come around. Let's just follow the most popular candidates so you don't start struggling. You don't start struggling. Atiku has said it, that if Peter Obi doesn't back him, then he will not run. What he means is, he believes Peter Obi has the magic, and that he thinks that Peter should, for the sake of old time, make him president. Life ambition. Yes.
So he's banking on Peter Obi to win the election.
Yes, exactly. He says without Peter Obi, he won't run. That only Peter can make him president. And that, can you imagine, in the last election, he had all those PDP governors with him, and they still allocated him 6 million votes plus. Peter Obi had no single governor. They still gave him the same 6 million votes plus. So you need to understand that that's even the allocation, even though we all know that the real result was not that. So I think we've come to the end of an era. No matter how the old brigade tried to stop it, where Nigeria is going to is being driven by experiences on the Nigerian street. I don't think anybody has the ability to stop where our country is moving towards. It is driven by the young, and there's been enough of what the older people have done, how the country has been damaged by the old generation. I think we can fix this country. I want to tell them that you please have patience. Peter wants to unite all the opposition. That's why it's taking him this time to make a categorical announcement. But the fact that he's talking to the PDP, he's being seen in public every day with El-Ruffai, and he's still continuing to maintain contacts with Atiku and people in the ADC, simply tells you he's bidding for time when all of the opposition will speak with one voice, then he will unite them. And before he now move forward, I think that is his strategy. There are no two ways about that's what he wants. So whatever you're doing to the Southerners now, the Southerners can also do it to you next time. And then you will never have a proper uniting of the political class. This is going to be bad for whatever prospect you were looking at going forward. Okay. I think Atiku should just negotiate power now that the rest of the North have agreed that power stays in the South till 2031. I have no doubt he will. And I want your audience to know that is the strategy. Peter doesn't want to move, abandoning anybody. He wants to make sure he talks to all the people who are now saying no. The good thing is he's now talking to the PDP. The PDP has agreed. Presidency stays in the South. El-Ruffai has agreed. The presidency stays in the South. A lot of stake, even inside the ADC, quite a lot of them agree. You need to use strategy, engagement, massage Atiku's ego until they're able to now tell him what he likes, what he likes to hear. And I think that's what power is about. The most important problems we have are electoral reform.
Yes.
Tinubu is not willing to do electoral reforms. But then one other thing you need is unity of the opposition, which we have not yet achieved. You have to have a unity of the opposition for us to, and that's why a lot of people are begging Atiku Abubakar to please come in from the cold and let the opposition be united. So far, Atiku is the only person holding the opposition from uniting. So if Atiku allows that unity of opposition to occur on time, then they will have time to do other. Because of Atiku's holdout, the opposition is now having issues trying to agree with one voice. So I think that's the problem. More Nigerians should reach out whatever they can to Atiku and ask him to please following what other Northerners have said, work with all of them. Let us achieve, first and foremost, unity of the opposition. If the opposition are not united, we're not going to achieve electoral reform. That's just the truth. And without achieving electoral reform, a lot of what we already did, Tinubu could repeat that. What would you do? What would you do if you repeat them? Weaken judiciary, captured INEC, tell you to go to court. What would you do?
All right.
They will start putting young people on the street. You know, the kind of option is good of letting voters vote and stay on the streets. But that could also be very demanding. So let us continue to work on all cylinders.
Okay.
Going forward, let's continue to work on all cylinders. We have seen that this particular administration encourages meddling in the affairs of opposition parties. We've seen how Wike has continued when the President Tinubu's administration has not called him to order. So if he doesn't call him to order, it is seen as if the President and his government encourages it. Arrangement. Some people will say yes, some people will say no. So you don't also think that the incumbent government will be standing and then people will just come and plot and then remove them. Of course, they will have to do something. But when they do things that are dirty, that's when you must oppose them. That notwithstanding, they cannot stop any change whose time has come.
Okay.
Right now, in the country, people are yearning for a better Nigeria. So as far as those who currently have advantage are concerned, they will continue to want to, stifle that organization. But I don't think such things have in the past. We just have to put our mind is where is society going? The society currently are now being driven and energized by the quantum, level of hardship in the country. What those people in the north who make noise are ill-informed Islamic fundamentalists. They don't have the number. They claim that the South has 35% of the landmass. 35% of the landmass does not mean 35% of the population.
No, they count them as 35% of population, sir. I don't know whether you don't notice that.
Yeah, because of if people don't know, they don't know. 35% of landmass is not 35% of population. The most populated areas in Nigeria are in southern Nigeria. Lagos, Port Harcourt, Onitsha. Look at the quantum concentration of populations in places like Ibadan. The only place you can find that heavily populated in the north is Kano. That's all. But you have massive centers like that in the south. Port Harcourt, Onitsha, Aba, Lagos, Ibadan. Plenty of them. So leave those people making noise. The idea is just some fundamentalists in the north do not want to share power with people in the south at all. Jerry Ghana is right. He knows that the noise leaders like Atiku are making is not true. The northern middle belt is a powerhouse. The part of the north, the northern middle belt is a powerhouse. The part of the north who say no to southerners being is mostly the northwest. Not the northeast. Not the northeast, not the north central. It's mostly the northwest who think they should rule alone. And I think that's a very, very wrong way they're going about. So Jerry Ghana knows what he's saying. And now that Jerry Ghana them are being open, you will see it's a matter of time they will now weaken Atiku and he will just need to negotiate power. All this, I don't agree. You're going nowhere. That Peter Obi have refused to go to ADC simply tells you nobody will go there. It will gradually die a stillbirth. ADC is an idea. I call it a ruga, a temporary abode. That's what it is. It's not supposed to be a permanent residence. And you can see how fundamentals have undermined its growth. People refuse to go and people stop going. Even those who told Atiku they are coming, they refuse. They now stay in the PDP and are talking to Peter Obi. That's why Atiku is angry that they now let him down. But that's how life is and that's how politics is. A day is a long time in politics. So let's see how he negotiates power, how it goes. I don't see anything wrong about it. Peter is in good pole position. Everybody should just be happy. He has time now. Let him talk to the people, and he's doing the right thing, talking to everybody, talking to even Atiku himself. I would like to say Peter will be smart enough. He'll be able to gauge all platforms and also be able to measure all risks. I think decision is left for him. Of course, here again, I don't blame him if he thinks superlatively about his platform. I don't think anybody has bought him. It's not true. He's just a party man trying to sell his party and make it look good. A lot of the people who are also saying these things sometimes are sympathizers of the ADC. They will want to discourage Peter, make him not go PDP, or make him not enter Atiku's hand. This is typical way. That's what we'll be hearing all over the internet. You see them attack El-Ruffai, see them attack the PDP. Most of them are Atiku's supporters. They think Peter should go to Atiku and then be placed second fiddle. No. So it's good that Peter is talking to Atiku, talking to PDP, talking to El-Ruffai, talking to everyone. People get the kind of National Assembly they deserve.
So that thing now one thing when me and they agree at all. You see, it's painful. It's painful when people say we're deserving of the leaders that we have.
Look, it is good for me and you to be here making noise. But what about the people? They will go protest. They say, okay, who's your leader here? The leader will go upstairs. By the time they talk to that leader, he comes and behaving like Kenneth Okonkwo. This is how it is. Yes. And we have a lot of Kenneth Okonkwo's in the system.
Are you insinuating that Kenneth Okonkwo is a two-mouth person?
That's the reason why the country is like this is because we have plenty Kenneth Okonkwo's. He was talking, and the people thought he was actually speaking in representation of the mindset of the movement and the street. The minute Atiku invited him into his house and then talked to him, he just went there and changed. He said, look, if not a northerner, I will not follow. If not a northerner, I will enter. So that means they have given you something. And for me, I was disturbed. So please, this battle is not going to be easy. To create a new country will not be easy. You will have those who will be shouting with us, but the minute they call him, he will turn to another Kenneth Okonkwo. Please, it doesn't mean that those Kenneth Okonkwo's will determine who we are. No, they cannot determine a country. When a change has its time at hand, that change will occur. Okay. No matter how you try to force the people into compromise. So let us just keep, that's why I tell you, a people deserve the kind of National Assembly that they get. Our people will go there protesting, they will call one person and then before you know it, you have another Kenneth Okonkwo. So until we begin to find the people that we trust that can go speak for us, that can go represent our interests. A lot of what you have now are people who are there for themselves. That was why you saw once the people followed Peter, a lot of them lost their relevance in politics across the South. Such people are plenty, my dear. Such people are plenty. I'm not going to tell you everything is everything is utopian. It's not true. Country is organizing the protocols for change. Our people are crying. Thank God you talked about Dr. Fayemi. That's just the truth. Not all of them will keep quiet. When they see that even their own relations are also among the crowd who are crying, they will start to walk out one by one. This is how this thing is. Yesterday, the same people you saw in the CPC that are now joining in ADC were all defending the same Buhari nepotism. What happened? Some of them even participated in nepotism. Today, they are the ones that have now become the opposition attacking the nepotism. So that's why I tell you, once the time has reached for the society to change its ways, no amount of Kenny concourse can stop that change.
All right.
We have started it. Where it will lead us to, I don't know. So that state capture that was instrumented through protocols that were laid by Buhari is now so difficult. It's even biting Buhari's people, making them to run out of the APC to now form the ADC. That's what it is. So we luckily have a smart orchestra man in Peter. He's talking to them in NZST. He's talking to the PDP that has now said they have zoned to the south. He's talking to El-Ruffai, who also agreed to zone to the south. He's talking to David Mark, who also agreed that it goes to the south. But there are some elderly people he likes that he thinks shouldn't be left behind, as he must, in his thoughts, unite the opposition to move forward. So why don't we just say 90% or 95% of the opposition are together? So by the time we can convince the remaining 10 to 15%, and then we'll go where we're going to. So I think despair is not an option. The National Assembly is far much better now than a military regime. So let's see where we're going to. I beg you.
All right,
we can still do something if we work together, but we must not embrace despair. Despair is not an option, please. Peter didn't have this amount of people to talk to. He wasn't talking to El-Ruffai. They were loggerheads. Ruffai was working for the APC. Today he's working with Peter. The same thing with a lot of the leaders from the north in the PDP. Today they are talking to him. They are wooing him. You heard what Jerry Ghana said. You heard Babangida Ali said.